In this video, we'll prepare a Week 15 cash lineup for the main slate on DraftKings, and it's coming up next. Hello, everyone. I'm Eric Lee with the Fantasy Football Consultants. Quick shout out to Rocky Patel, who won our Week 14 Top Commenters contest. He won thanks to a very late Tyler Lockett catch, which edged him ahead of Michael Wiley. Congratulations to Rocky. Before we get to our cash lineup on DraftKings for Week 15, quick reminder that we don't like to say this a lot because I quite honestly think it's annoying, but you can do three things that can really help this channel. One, like the video. Just as Vaughn and Randy, our viewers, have said, make it a habit of every time you watch our video, just smash that like button. The goal of this channel is to have 10% of the views represented with likes, and we're way below that particular metrics. The second thing that you can do is comment. As listener Dave challenged everyone to make comments on NFL DFS players for the week on the main site that you like and you dislike. And I just think it's so important. We have a community of people who watch our video, but also share their ideas. And then third, and most important, we want you to sub to the channel, become a subscriber. Now, in the last 28 days, the people who have watched our video, 58% of you are not subscribed. By doing these three things, like, commenting, and subscribing, the YouTube algorithm will put our video in front of more eyes. And as a final incentive to subscribe, we will once again this year do a subscriber appreciation week later in the season. All right, let's get into Week 15 and prepare a cash lineup on DraftKings. All right, here we are in Week 15 on the main slate. No more buys in the NFL. However, we've got 3 Saturday games. Therefore, we only have 10 games here on the main slate. Let's start at running back. And the first guy that I feel like we got to get into the lineup, once again, is Derrick Henry. My gosh, we feel like a broken record on this channel. This guy only gets stronger as the season goes along, and he gets a dream matchup here against the LA Chargers, who have been so bad this year against the run. Henry should have a field day with one caveat. Game script cannot get away from the Tennessee Titans. So if you remember last week against Jacksonville, they dominated at the beginning of this game. And I think Henry had over 100 yards in the first half. He had a very quiet second half as they were struggling to come back. So hopefully that will not happen this week. So let's get Derrick Henry in the lineup. If you think the Chargers are going to blow him out, look elsewhere, but I don't think that they will. All right, so the other running back is a guy you have not seen in our lineup for a very long time. He has had a tough year, and thankfully, because of that, DraftKings continue to drop his price. Alvin Kamara. Look, the guy is in a great environment this week. He is a home favorite by 4 points, a reasonable 23.5 point total, and he faces the Atlanta Falcons, who cannot stop anybody, whether it's in the air or on the ground. And speaking of that, Kamara still is that dual threat, even more so with Mark Ingram now out. So this is his opportunity to be a bell cow. So I'm very excited that Alvin Kamara we can fit him in the lineup. And he's at a very reasonable $6,800. This time of the year, you always are concerned about the weather. So I love to get him in the lineup, given that he is in a dome. All right, we spent a lot of money at running back, so we're going to have to save some money at the wide receiver spots. As much as we'd love to get Davante Adams in our lineup, we are going to give someone who I'll call Davante Adams light, as in really light. But hey, the last 4 weeks, he's been doing his Davante Adams impersonation. That is Zay Jones at $4,900. In the last 4 weeks, he has averaged 11 targets a game. Now, look, I know he faces a very tough Dallas Cowboy secondary, but this Jacksonville Jaguar offense is really rejuvenated. And in DraftKings, where we have a full PPR, the amount of targets Zay Jones has been getting is just too valuable at this sub $5,000 price. So we'll get him in our lineup. All right, we're going to continue the trend of saving money by going down to Elijah Moore at $3,600. Man, I just love this New York Jet offense under Mike White. A lot more opportunities for everybody. Look, we love Garrett Wilson here, but we can save $2,400 on Moore. And with Corey Davis in concussion protocol, very likely he doesn't play, which will give even more opportunities for Elijah. So, and he faces the Detroit Lions, who has a terrible passing defense. Now, I would love it even more if this game is in Detroit. It's not. It's in New York, which you immediately need to wonder about the weather in December. But the long-term forecast is expected to be dry, maybe a little on the cold side, but nothing I think that the Jets aren't used to dealing with. So I feel very comfortable going with Elijah Moore at a bargain placement price of $3,600. All right, we're going to continue to save money, and we're going to corner the markets on Moore. So we already have Elijah Moore in our lineup. Let's add Chris Moore into our lineup. All right, there's a lot to like about Chris Moore. He's got, with the absence of both Brandon Cooks and Nicole Collins, he completely took over last week with a blow-up game, getting 11 targets and 124 yards. And I love his matchup. We said it last week with Denver. Kansas City is going to put points on the board, and it's going to force even Denver, one of the worst offenses in football, to be able to put points in the air. Remember, Dameon Pierce is out this week. So I definitely think the Houston Texans are going to have to rely on the passing game. And if Collins and Cooks are out, I really like Chris Moore. Now, you say, Eric, wait a minute. What if Nick Collins plays? No worries. We got your back. If Nick Collins plays, just substitute Nick Collins in at $4,300. It's only $100 more, and I'm going to make sure in this lineup I have at least $100 left over for you to do that pivot. So the key here is, will Brandon Cooks be out? And if Brandon Cooks is out, then you've got that pivot play to play Collins if he's playing, and if he is not playing, to go with Chris Moore. All right, so I'm taking a landscape of where we are, and I'm going to since I ate my vegetables and save money on wide receivers, let's just pay up at quarterback. At quarterback, let's get Pat Mahomes in the lineup. Man, has this guy, you cannot imagine a better matchup for him. He is a home favorite, and when I say favorite, I mean favorite. They're monster favorites, and he has a 32 implied total against a Houston defense. Oh, that is just awful. It's awful. Don't be impressed with the 14th ranked passing defense. That's just because a lot of teams have gotten way up on them and they've passed less. Their pass defense is just as bad as their rush defense. And I expect that Mahomes will get plenty of chances to throw the ball in this one and pay off on this $8,100 price. And because I paid up for Mahomes, I cannot get Kelsey. We looked at it to see, can we pay down at quarterback? Because there are some good options for pay down at quarterback. If you want, if Mike White in fact plays, I like that as an option. I just said that the weather should be clear in New York. And another option, if you want to go bargain basement, is to go Mac Jones at only $5,000. in order to in facing the Las Vegas defense. But here's the deal, folks. We don't even if you do that, you cannot afford Travis Kelce by going up from the tight end that I'm going to use. So instead of going Kelce and one of those guys, which we couldn't afford, we can fit in Mahomes, and the tight end, given the price, we like almost as much as Travis Kelce. Given his price at only $3,600, Greg Dulcich, man, in a dream matchup for him. Arizona is, first of all, their offense is not going to be able to sustain drives, I don't think, in this matchup without their starting quarterback, Kyler Murray. Dulcich is a home favorite. And I also want to note that Arizona is not good against the pass, but they're particularly bad against tight ends. Dead last, 32nd against tight ends. So I really like Dulcich, and I really like the $3,600 price. If you look at the statistics for tight ends, I mean, he runs a lot of routes, gets a fair number of targets given his low price. So let's get him in the lineup. And we've got two more players, and guess what? To no one's surprise, we're paying down on defense so we can fit Austin Eckler in this lineup at $8,500. Now, you might say, Eric, Austin Eckler? Really? He's facing the Tennessee Titans, the third-ranked defense. They're so good. You can't play a running back against the Tennessee Titans. Well, I'm not. I don't want you to think of Austin Eckler as a running back. I want you to think of him as a premier wide receiver. Just look at these wide receiver stats that he gives you. 16 targets, 12 targets, 8 targets, 12 targets, 15 targets, 8 targets. And you get the bonus of getting some carries and the goal line carries. That is so valuable. And with this LA Charger team fully now at full health on offense, with Mike Williams back, with Keenan Allen back, that I think they're going to be able to put up some points on Tennessee, which means I think they'll be around the goal line. So I love this Austin Eckler pick, of course, on DraftKings with a full PPR. All these receptions are so valuable and really helps with his floor. All right, at $2,300, we unfortunately cannot afford at $2,700 the Denver Broncos. I really like the Broncos this week. They're just a great defense that's a home favorite that's facing a backup quarterback in Colt McCoy. The Denver Broncos have 2.5 sacks per game, and Arizona has given up the 7th most sacks. So if more value opens up and we get an extra $400, sure, or $500, sure, we'll pay up. But I'm going to keep my promise to have $100 left over for you and get the Tennessee Titans defense. They are absolutely a punt defense, but you know, I certainly can see the scenario. Tennessee could win this game against the Chargers if they can control the game behind Derrick Henry. So let's get the Titans defense in here. The fact that the Titans have 33 sacks in 13 games is impressive for a punt defense. And there's no question that the Chargers will be passing the ball a lot. And remember, a lot of the points come against teams that are throwing the ball a lot. All sacks, all interceptions, most turnovers happen in the passing game. And that's the cash lineup for week 15. I did meet up with Michael Wiley to do the FanDuel breakdown for the week 15 slate and to put together a cash and GBP lineup. When that video is available, we'll put that on the screen. Until next week, take care, everybody.